Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jeannie and this is on the Hook Crochet where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's on the hook today. Well, I wanted to tell you that I have found a lovely subscriber to swap my yarn with. The first person to shoot me an email was Penny Niles, and so Penny, I'm putting this in the mail to you tomorrow. Today is not good for me. I can't get away today, but tomorrow morning I'll put this in the mail and send it over to you. And I'm just going to leave the mesh scarf little piece that I swatched. I think I'm just going to leave that intact. And you can frog it out if you want to. It's just about 2 yards of yarn. So I'm leaving that in there, and I will get this out to you first thing in the morning. So thank you again for everybody for offering to do that. I had 2 or 3, 4 offers, but Penny was the first one to send me an email and her address, so I just went with that. And so next time, if y'all want to swap, it's the same thing. If everybody wants to swap, then we can maybe figure out something. But when there's a choice, it's kind of fun to have a choice. So when you offer to swap with somebody, it makes things a little bit easier, or you seem a little more pleased with the yarn color that you get. So I think that's important to have people that love to swap. So next time, maybe the same thing. We'll have to see. As you know, I was at the Smoky Mountain Fiber Festival on Saturday, and I have lots of footage that I am trying to edit and get together so I can put together a little movie of all the booths that I visited and speaking with the artisans that were there who spin the wool, who hank the wool, who sell the wool, who show us everything about their business that they possibly can, and create the most beautiful finished objects too. And I have a few pictures of those as well. And there was a fashion show. Booth owners and or instructors could wear an article that they made, and they did a fashion show and went up all into this amphitheater where we were sitting and modeled their silk paintings on fabric. They modeled crochet and hand knit items, purses, scarves, everything. It was very, very interesting. I didn't get a huge amount of footage from that, but I did get some, and I will show it to you when I put my little movie together. And hopefully by the end of the week I'll have that. And I apologize for it being so long, but I did use a new camera, and I'm not using it now. But I did use a new camera, and I've got to learn how to edit the film on that. So what I wanted to do today was to show you what I bought at the festival, because that is the bottom line for me. I just wanted to go and buy some beautiful yarn and see how people made it. So the first stop that I made was at a place called the Two Roots Fiber Mill booth, and they had the most beautiful yarns. Of course, they all had the most beautiful yarns. I couldn't help myself. But I did try to buy a hank at all the places that I thought were really, really good. And this woman and her husband have a big farm, and on the farm they grow alpacas, and you know what that is, so like a little llama, a little short llama. And I have some video of the animals too, which was very interesting. And this is her, oh, I wish I could get that to focus. This is her label that she puts on. I don't think that's going to work. Anyway, it's a picture of a llama. Oh, maybe you can see it there. A picture of a llama. And this is her card. Two Roots Alpacas is the name of it. And this is, they grow alpacas, and they shear the alpacas, I think she said twice a year. I may be wrong about that, but I think it's twice a year. And she actually knows the alpacas by name. Okay, this is new to me because I'm kind of a city girl, and I've never even seen an alpaca till Saturday. But she wove the fur together, and their names are Raven and Snowflake. Well, you can imagine what color they were. Raven was black, a black llama. Snowflake was a white llama. And so she wove these together, and so half of it is Raven and half of it is Snowflake. You see that? This was the most interesting thing I saw pretty much all day. But anyway, and she knows the alpacas, which is amazing to me. She loves them and knows them. And of course, when you raise alpacas, you don't kill them, you just shear them. And so they produce, and they're happy as a clam the rest of the year. So it's a kind of a win-win. But they have a large farm, and they grow lots of alpacas. I think they're like 30, 40, 50. I don't know how many she has. It's a ridiculous number. But And they eat grass, so you don't have to feed them like dogs or anything. So out of the things I never knew. Anyway, this black and white blend is 100% alpaca, and it's a 3-ply bulky 4-ounce hank, and it has 165 yards on it. It was not cheap, but I plan to make a beautiful scarf out of this. I believe I've got enough. 165 yards, that should be enough. Using a little bit of a big hook, I think I can make that happen. So I'm excited. But this is wool, alpaca wool, so I'm not going to be working on it right away. But I will probably get it caked up sometime in the next week or two and maybe make a swatch. I don't know. I might do that just for fun. But it's wool, so I won't be producing anything with this yet. The second place I went was Unidled Hands, and that is her label, Unidled Hands. And it's based on Proverbs 31, 10-31. Woman in the house is described as being very productive, and all the wonderful things about a woman who works with her hands. And I just think that's a beautiful part of Proverbs where it talks about women, and what a wonderful thing it is when you make things with your hands, you take care of your family, and you also make money on the side. And it actually talks about that. So Unidled Hands is the name of her booth, and I bought this hank of yarn there. Isn't it gorgeous? It is purple and then a tweed, which is gray and kind of a cream white. So it's going to be stripy. I have a feeling it's going to be stripy because each of those is a separate fiber. You see what I mean? It's fingering yarn, which is kind of small. See how small that is? But I'm going to be adventurous and I'm excited about it. Anyway, this is made out of merino wool, nylon, and Peruvian fine Highland wool. So she spins yarn herself, and I have some video of her, and I'll show it to you in my little movie. But she was spinning yarn, and I sat and talked with her for a few minutes and took some video. So I found this hank in her pretty big booth there. She had a lot of yarn, and it just spoke to me. I love purple, and I love gray. So this was just perfect for me. So I bought that, and I'm guessing that with it being 440 yards of fingering, I should be able to make a beautiful scarf with that. So I'm excited. That's also wool, so obviously we're not going to be making it right away. But the next place I went was the Forbidden Fiber Company. It's a cute place. There's their label. I don't know if you can see that. Forbidden Fiber. And this particular this particular hank is called Fortitude. It's a DK, and it's 100% superwash merino, 231 yards, 100 grams. And so it's in a superwash, so you can wash it in cold water. And they actually had this made up in a scarf. No, it was a shawl. They had this made up in a shawl. And because I saw that, I was a little bit of a easy sale, but because I can see things made up, it helps me so much. And I suggested that to a couple of girls in booths, that if they just had a swatch or a small item made up in their different colorways, then people could see how they appear when they're crocheted or knitted. So a couple of them thanked me for that suggestion, but I don't know if they will do it. But it helped me a lot to buy these 2 hanks that I bought, because the shawl actually took 2 hanks to make. So I bought this, and it looks like this exact colorway, which I was looking for, something that is repetitive on 2 different hanks. And this is a blue, tiny bit of pink, and some yellow thrown in there, on some very dark blue right there, and then some turquoisey kind of green color. And I'm not sure if that's purple. I don't see any purple in this. There might be a little bit right in there. But I thought that was a beautiful colorway. I really did. If you undo it just a little bit, you can see it a little better. See? I don't do that in the booths or in the stores. I don't unhank them, but I do like to see the colors as they're stretched down onto the hank. So I bought those two at the Forbidden Fiber Company booth, and the girls there were very, very sweet, very sweet. And then I found myself at the booth it was probably the biggest booth there. It was like a double booth. It had a lot of yarn, a lot of different types of yarn, different sizes of yarn, and you could go to the DK side and just pick DK yarn, which I thought was a nice way to lay it out. But the place was called the Twist Fiber Studio. Oh, so sorry you can't see that. Twist Fiber Studio. And they had actually won the official colorway. They were commissioned maybe to do it. The official colorway of the Smoky Mountain Fiber Arts Festival. And it's a DK, and they also had it in worsted, and they had it in fingering as well, the same exact colorway. And it's called Fish Out of Water. And it's the official colorway of the Smoky Mountain Fiber Arts Festival. And since it was, I thought, well, since I'm here and I'm filming and I'm going to show this to all my subscribers, I bought the colorway. This is it. It is quite gorgeous. It's purple with yellow, and then lots of turquoise thrown in there. Look at that. And a part of it is speckled, but not the whole thing. So I thought that was kind of neat. They just speckled this one area, it looks like. And maybe on the other end as well, but right there. But isn't that gorgeous? I thought, wow, I'm going to have that, and it's the official colorway. So since I was kind of representing y'all, I took some video of this booth and the girls that ran the booth. They were very, very sweet. And most everybody that I met at the Fiber Festival was very willing to go on camera, which I was very surprised about. But I guess they have a business and they want to promote their business, so they were okay with me filming them. And some I filmed for a very long time, and I'll probably edit some of that out. So a little bit about what I have on. I know y'all always say, what is it that you're wearing? So I'm wearing my denim sweater, and again, it's fairly cool today, but it's not hot. So I decided to wear this with a little white tank top underneath, and I'll show it to you. This is the denim sweater made with the cotton on denim by James Brett, and it has stretched a little bit, and I mentioned that in one of my other videos, but I'm going to wet it and block it again. It's really not bad. It's not as stretched as the green one was, but I did find that the yarn stretches a little bit, and it's because of the stitch. It's a kind of an open half double crochet, so it's not tightly woven on the fabric, so it's not going to hold up as tight. So I will take care of that soon. But I just wanted to tell you what I had on because a lot of you asked me what I'm wearing. So that said, join me next time to find out what's on the hook.